Yeah.
Do you think he's going to come with anything different?
He probably will. He's a proud man, proud fighter. I don't know if he'll come with anything different. I think he's just does the same thing all the time. The basics, the solid basics.
Man, Joe Parker, he said, I will beat Oleksandr Usyk. What gives you the confidence that will happen as well, Andy?
Joe is the last challenger. He can offer something that nobody else can. Craft, cleverness, doesn't take breaks, can fight the pace. It's a great challenge.
Happy. There's something amazing, never have in your life again.
Andy Lee has become one of the strongest voices championing Joseph Parker's transformation in recent years. To Lee, Parker is no longer the fighter who once coasted on natural talent and occasional bursts of aggression. Instead, he has evolved into a complete athlete, disciplined, relentless, and sharp in both pace and stamina. The vulnerabilities that once left him exposed, particularly late in fights, are now gone. Where Parker once faded or
George, the whole team that's here from New Zealand, America, I got Rob here.
Fought in predictable rhythms, he now brings relentless consistency. Lee issues a clear warning. If Oleksandr Usyk approaches Parker with the same level of underestimation Daniel Dubois did, the Ukrainian champion could be in for a serious shock. These aren't empty words of encouragement, they're a stark reminder that Parker is not the same man he was years ago. Unlike
To fight the best of their era. Hamza wants to fight Canelo. Joe wants to fight Usyk. We always want to challenge ourselves as fighters. And we're
Dubois, who tried to make noise with shouts, threats, and bravado, Parker has chosen a different path. Quietly and methodically, he has rebuilt himself, refining his skills and leaving nothing to chance. In boxing, noise may sell tickets, but preparation wins.
I think they'll fight Joseph Parker at some point.
And also, it's money talks. I'm sitting there thinking, walk away from the sport, sail off to the sunset, but if he comes back with £100 million offer to fight.
Fights. And Andy Lee insists Parker has never prepared harder than he is now. That sentiment is echoed by Duke McKenzie, another seasoned voice in British boxing. McKenzie doesn't bother with subtlety. Joseph Parker is coming, he declares. With a fight projected to generate over £100 million, McKenzie points out that no fighter in their right mind walks away.
Parker's done everything he needs to do now to warrant a shot at Usyk. But would you even give Joseph Parker a chance at Usyk? It'd be an interesting fight. Quite fast hands, high work rate. But let's not forget who Parker's lost to already. I mean, lost to Dillian Whyte a few years ago, and he's since been beaten a few times by people that really couldn't lace Usyk boots. And I'm not having a go at Joseph Parker. And I do think that if anybody deserves a fight, he does. He deserves the fight, deserves the payday. But is anybody realistically giving Joseph Parker a chance against Oleksandr?
From such an opportunity. But for him, Parker's drive is about more than a payday. It's about dismantling the belief that Usyk is untouchable. There's a storm waiting to hit, McKenzie says, framing Parker not as an underdog chasing a miracle, but as a fighter determined to shake the very foundation of the division.
Before the fight, we now know who holds the belts, who's the number one, and he's going to have to make his mandatories now. And his first mandatory is the WBO against Joe Parker. So Joe Parker will get his opportunity. That's BO basically said we've got to start negotiating with each other, and that's what we're doing. I'd love to put the fight.
Carl Froch, never one to sugarcoat reality, cuts to the core of the issue. Yes, Parker has earned his shot. His consistency, patience, and string of victories put him in perfect position. But Froch reminds fans of the brutal truth: earning the chance is one thing, beating Usyk is another. The Ukrainian has already dismantled men bigger, faster, and stronger than Parker. With his blistering hand speed, elite ring IQ, and merciless work rate, Usyk operates on a level above. Froch warns that Parker will be stepping into a storm that has broken others before him. Frank Warren, ever the strategist, lays out the stakes with clarity. As Usyk's WBO mandatory, Parker's shot is locked in, negotiations already underway. For Parker, it's the long-awaited payday he deserves. But
I feel like it's going to fall on deaf ears.
Unfortunately, it will.
I appreciate the call-out.
I appreciate that. I remember he did it with Dylan White and Anthony Joshua last year. And every one of them, they just get better and better. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I will say this now, right? I would rather see Parker versus Usyk than Dubois versus Usyk. I'll say it now.
Really?
I don't think we'll get Parker.
Warren cautions fans not to see it as a gift. This isn't a golden ticket, he stresses. Facing Usyk is a trial by fire, a fight that could change Parker's life or end it in heartbreak if he falters for even a moment. Olawad Depot, a sharp-eyed analyst, takes the discussion in another direction. In today's boxing, many callouts are hollow, designed for clicks and social media headlines rather than serious fights. But Parker versus Usyk, he argues, is different. It's real, it's compelling, and it has the attention of everyone who matters in the sport. Depot even gives credit to Daniel Dubois, noting that while he fell short against Usyk, each attempt hardened him. In the same way, Parker's quiet evolution has made him the most credible opponent available right now. Analyst EA adds an intriguing psychological layer. Even if Parker never sets foot in the ring with Usyk, the discussion itself has an impact.
I don't think anyone can beat him out there right now. I don't think anyone will ever beat him. I think he'll retire undefeated. I think he'll fight one more time, and that probably is possibly against
Impact. Anticipation shapes narratives, creates pressure, and builds expectations before a single punch is thrown. In this sense, Parker isn't just preparing for a fight. He's already influencing the division by simply being the man in waiting. AB expands on that point, framing both Dubois and Parker as more than fighters. They are strategists shaping the sport's storylines. Their presence forces reactions from others, planting seeds that grow into mega events. Parker's looming threat alone, Abe argues, reshapes how Usyk is viewed by the heavyweight landscape. But Spencer Oliver, as always, pulls no punches. For him, the reality is simple: no one looks capable of dethroning Oleksandr Usyk right now. The champion is undefeated, untouchable, and terrifyingly methodical.
Who's going to beat him? You know, who is that guy? I think the guy that deserves a shot next, by the way, is Joseph Parker. He's the guy that's been waiting, and I think the WBO have mandated that fight. So unless Oleksandr Usyk vacates the belt, he will have to fight Joseph Parker next. That'll be an interesting fight. That's probably his...
Oliver describes him as a fighter who operates with precision few can even hope to match. And yet, even he concedes Parker has earned his chance. If anyone deserves the shot, it's him. Still, Oliver frames it as a classic David versus Goliath tale, one where the payday is guaranteed but the victory remains a monumental, near-impossible task. The true test for Joseph Parker will be surviving Oleksandr Usyk's pressure, intelligence, and relentless accuracy. Spencer Oliver emphasizes that Usyk's greatest weapon isn't just physical ability, it's psychological dominance. Every feint, every step, every perfectly measured punch chips away at his opponent's confidence long before the knockout comes. Parker may enter the ring with belief, but Oliver warns that one lapse against Usyk could end everything in an instant. He paints the challenge vividly: this is more than a test of skill or heart. It's about enduring the eye of a hurricane, where survival itself is a kind of victory.
What he did to Daniel, it took away everything, all his attributes. He took away his jab, took away his power, took away his movement, took away his confidence, to the point where Daniel was putting his backside on the floor thinking, wow, you know, we're only in round 5 here, and I'm getting chopped up. And this guy...
Johnny Nelson drives the point home by revisiting Usyk's dismantling of Daniel Dubois. Nelson recalls how Usyk stripped Dubois of every tool: his jab, his power, his movement, even his confidence. By the 5th round, Dubois wasn't simply beaten, he was broken. And yet, Usyk carried himself with composure and respect after the fight, a display of class that highlights the duality of an elite champion: ruthless in the ring, graceful outside it. For Nelson, this is exactly the danger Parker faces. Usyk doesn't just win, he dissects. He breaks fighters down piece by piece, leaving them as shadows of themselves. Nelson even suggests Usyk may see Parker as a mandatory chore, a controlled warm-up before legacy-defining bouts. That doesn't diminish Parker's worthiness, it simply underlines how differently Usyk operates. To him, every fight is a chess match, and every opponent, no matter how strong, is reduced to a pawn.